Welcome back, gamers, to Infinite Dice. Today we bring you a battle report, a 1,000-point little skirmish battle report of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. My opponent is my wife, and as she has not selected an online persona name yet, I will just refer to her as my wife or her throughout this video. And as far as that, let's get started. So first we have my list. This is 1,000 points of Nighthaunt. I was attracted to the idea of all ethereal undead. I'm running 3 units here of Spirit Host, as you can see, and then 2 units of Hex Wraiths, and then I have 2 Carrion Wraiths and a Banshee, and then of course my awesome flying chariot, the Black Coach. And then her list. She's running Compendium Elves right now. Pretty much all out of the box with the Skaven, which is fantastic kits. She's got 2 Reavers, and then 3 units of 10 Elvish Sea Guard. And then, what do we got? We got a Griffin, Lord on Griffin, which is pretty awesome as you see through this video. And then her General is also the guy holding the awesome banner, and we'll also check out his command ability as we go on. Here's the battlefield. We are just playing 4 squares since this will be a 1,000-point battle. And we had rules for the terrain, mostly just the +1 to armor save throughout. This lava here, all the stuff that's red, if you go across it, you roll a 1, the model dies. Not takes a wound, but dies. Unfortunately, that didn't really play effect because my whole army is ethereal. So then we rolled for what game we'd be playing, and we got Blood and Glory, which is 4 markers. Those are the gold totems you see in this picture in the 4 squares. And pretty much it's just to seize control of all 4. You have control if you have more models than your enemy has within 6 inches. Alright, and then this is deployment. She divided the board in half like this, and then as you can see, she put her 3 units of 10 just kind of lined up against the wall right there, all the way as close, and then the Elvish Reavers in the back, the horse people, put her Griffin right in the forest there. I kind of also just lined up, put as much of my stuff into cover as possible, which wasn't possible at all. She actually did a fantastic job selecting how the board should be divided and which side she took. She took all the hills and all the good terrain, which I was looking to get. Picture from her side of deployment, hiding her general there in the trees. And then across you can see my side just kind of lined up there. Alright, I won the roll, so... No, I didn't win the roll. She finished setting up first, so she selected for me to go first. Another brilliant play, being a shooting army. Just meaning that all I really had to do, I have no hero phase versus hero phase. I have no hero phase, or not much of one. No mages in this list. And no shooting, so I just ran everything forward. And that kind of looks like this. I moved my general, which is the chariot, behind this train piece as much as possible to try to limit the amount of shooting, and then just kind of everybody else up. And again, the lava didn't really matter due to being ethereal and flying. Another picture of me hiding my spirits and my general behind this wall. Alright, so we go to her turn, which is bottom of round 1. She doesn't move any of her foot soldiers, just kind of all stays there. All of her horsemen kind of move up to challenge my horsemen. And then her Lord on Griffin moves up threateningly. Picture of her horsemen facing down mine. We will go into her hero phase, and another picture of just how she was moving and where she's positioning everybody at. This just breaks my heart. So this is her first turn, and she just wipes this unit out. This entire unit of Hex Wraiths with shooting, bombardment, just completely wipes them out. They're gone. I don't get to use them at all this game. Just got to run them up one turn and obliterated. And that's a picture with all of them gone. And all the space she has created for herself to move around the table edge. Woe is me. And then some shooting over here. She puts some wounds on the Spirit Host and wounds on the Hex Wraith. Drops a Hex Wraith, puts a wound on another one. Good shooting phase on her first turn. So this is her charge phase. And she does a brilliant job of not charging with her Elvish Reavers. We'll find out why in a minute. And she does charge with her Lord on Griffin right into the Hex Wraith. That was a difficult decision as well, due to it had so much movement. I think she rolled an 11 or something, and then it can pounce another 6 inches, which we'll talk about as well. But she didn't want to put it anywhere that would attract more, because you can pile in everything within 3 inches. So she didn't want more of my units to be able to pile in. So attacking these Hex Wraiths, attacking these Spirit Hosts straight on allows only the Spirit Host to be into combat and nothing else, which I think was pretty much the right play. And does some wounds there on the charge with the Griffin. Not too much. Wasn't the best rolling. Alright, top of round 2. She wins this roll, which is brutality. Her pointing right now is showing us that she's using the command ability on that unit. I don't know what his command ability is called, but I'll tell you what it does. It allows them to re-roll all hits, wounds, and armor saves, which is just fantastic. The only downside is they can't move or charge, so they are stuck there, but doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Use it strategically. Movement of the top of turn 2, she moves around freely because again she murdered all those Hex Wraiths at her first turn. And then these other Reavers, or these other Elvish Horse Reavers, are moving up to behind the Griffin to kind of help that out as well. And also some of her foot soldiers move forward, except for, of course, the unit that can't because of the command ability. This is me showing that she splits her shooting between these two targets. Trying to put down both. Very ambitious. Puts 2 wounds onto my 1 Wraith, which is devastating, but not the end of the world. And then charge! Gets in there with the charge, the support, the elf support. And then I want to talk about this for a second. This is ridiculous. Okay, so we mentioned this earlier, this pounce. So when you pile in, you have to pile in to the closest enemy model. Now, her Griffin can pounce, which says she doesn't have to choose the closest enemy model. Also, she can move over enemy units, pretty much just ignoring that. As we were playing it, is how I'm reading it, is she can just pounce in and out of different combats. In this situation, she goes hero hunting and pounces out of the Spirit Host and jumps on my Crane Wraith right there. Also positioning herself brilliantly so there's no other, limiting the amount of tax back that I'm going to have with my pile-in. So goes hero hunting with this pounce ability. Pretty awesome. It's a pricely, in points-wise model, so respectable, but oh man. And she gets it. This is the picture of the end of her turn 2 and start of my turn 2. As you can see, I can kind of turn around with the Wraiths and hit at the Griffin. The Griffin's down to 4 wounds, which is really nice, but also just murdered my hero, just pounced on my hero. And then, alright, cool. So this is a picture after the movement, bottom of round 2. Again, she won the double roll, which is just a fantastic ability to roll at the beginning of each turn. It made this game a lot of fun. So this is the bottom of round 2. I move my general up and the hex rates up a little bit. That's about it. That's all I have. And my spirit hosts that were on the back got moved up. A picture of my chariot general about to just mess up some elvish foot soldiers. And then, oh, okay, this was another key part of my plan. Although his dice didn't move with him, his 2 wounds dice. So I'm moving this wraith over here in hopes to combat with those elvish reavers and keep them. I mean, even if he gets slaughtered, just keep them occupied for a battle round or 2, so they can't just go over there and mess up my spirit hosts and kind of just mess up her plan. He's kind of just sacrifice, but a very, very important move in general. And then this spirit host needed a 5. This unit needed a 5 to get into combat with those horsemen and failed. It hurts. Both the chariot and the spirit host get into combat with these foot soldiers right here along this wall. Not a big deal. And this is me pointing, or her pointing, just the pouncing, just bouncing out of that combat back into the spirit host again with the Griffin pounce ability. Just looking really good. Trying to get out of range of as many attacks as possible. But what she didn't realize is by doing that, here, let's go back to that picture. By doing that, she put herself within 3 inches of my spirit host right here. And of course, you can pile in with all units within 3 inches, so they get their pile in and take him down. This is fantastic. And he's gone. Last 4 wounds gone. So this is the end of the round 2. I did charge in. The red circle shows you I did charge in with my Wraith, and he actually did quite a good job. He dropped 2 horses, and they did nothing back. Very happy with him. And then the Griffin is down, and then mess up a bunch of foot soldiers in the center there. Feeling good about that. I won the roll, so I get to go at the top of turn 3, and this is my movement. Oh, I do the fancy Hex Wraith. When Hex Wraiths fly over units, you can roll a 6 or roll a dice, and on a 6 they take a mortal wound. I did that to these Elvish Reavers for the only time in the combat, or the only time in the entire game, and it did nothing, as usual. It's not a effect it was cute. I tried it. I flew over these guys. Ha 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 ha. So position those Hex Wraiths, and that's about all I did right there. And then, of course, I don't have a shooting phase, so we move straight to the charges, and they are going to come in to these guys. Now, remember, they are still whatever the hero ability is that allows them to reroll basically everything. So knowing that, I'm going to take this charge first. I get to choose which combat happens first. I'm taking these Hex Wraiths straight into these guys. I did not do anything. I think I might have killed 1 guy. And then she was mad about that. She could have strategically attacked somewhere else, but she did not. She attacked straight back there and just wiped them out. Just murdered 3 horses. I only got 1. It was pretty bad. That re-rolling just everything is apparently effective. Who knew re-rolling in a dice game was a powerful ability? And then this is the only failed battle shock of the round. At the end of the battle shock, I think something like 2 died, and she rolled a 5, losing 1 more. Even after the re-roll, she rolled a 6 or a 5 again. So, haha, you're scaredy pants, run away. Elves, be scared of the ghosts. And what do we have a picture up here? Oh, so this is her turn. Bottom of round 3, the red circle at the top shows that she used her command ability on that unit yet again, which I believe is All 3 turns she's used the command ability on that unit. Way over there, right within the 16 inches. Giving them rerolls to everything. They can't move or charge, but who cares? They're already in combat. And then she also moves these guys up. Oh, so she moves. Let's go back to the first picture. She moves these guys down here. These sea guardmen up to shoot my wraith, and this wraith takes all the shots. All these guys' shots. Now, here's my question: how can a unit of hex wraiths just get mowed down by shooting, and then this one wraith not? He's very proud of him. He's done more than I could have asked for. Killing 2 of those horsemen, taking them out for a turn, taking all those shots. Well, I was okay if he just died. And she charged in. Look at him with his 2 wounds, just battling all these units, completely surrounded. He's got it. Okay, we move to combat. On her turn, my lord and this unit of spirit hosts just obliterate what used to be inside of this red circle, which was some foot soldiers. And these spirit hosts killed the rest of these horses over here. What used to be in the red circle is dead. She did some more wounds on my hex wraiths with the souped up unit. Not quite as powerful as it was last time. Survived. This is my turn, top of round 4. After movement, we move right on to round 4. I won the roll yet again. As you can see, I kind of just move my spirit host up to support my singleton hex wraith down here at the corner. And up there at the top, my general turns around to help my 1 wraith and spirit host go hero hunting. Let's kill that pesky general and get his command ability out of the way. And I have the top of turn 4, so this is fantastic. I can kill that general before she has the bottom of turn 4 and cannot use that ability again. So that's a fantastic plan. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Another picture. And the wraith dies. This picture is at the end of combat. The wraith finally bites the dust. The chariot general is not very successful, and her hero survives. I believe we have a better picture of that. And the souped up unit over here again. This souped up unit is just doing well. Yes, so she gave the magic item to him that gave him the 6+ ward save that totally saved his butt, and he's left with 1 wound at her turn. I am so infuriated. That guy needed to go down. He did not. He's left standing with 1 wound. So his command ability. Now this is her turn, the bottom of round 4. This was tough on whether or not to pick the Reavers or the unit that was in combat with my chariot. She ended up picking the Sea Guard because they were already in combat, and she wanted to move those Reavers to kind of give her support. She could have just used the shooting for the support, but she wanted to use the shooting and the charge for support, and you can't move or charge with the command ability. So she picked these guys. This was a tough decision, though. This might have changed a bunch. All right, and then shooting, shoot. Took down a bunch of spirit hosts. There's only 1 left with 1 wound remaining. Enough to kill that dude, though. And then horses fly in, and this is the end of round 4. Horses fly in. They did nothing, a whole bunch of nothing. That guy was left with 1 wound. Could have saved her general, but didn't. Everything down here in the bottom of the picture that the spirit wraiths were fighting, or spirit hosts were fighting, that unit was no longer souped up, so they just got eaten up. Yum, 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 yum. And this is my movement. End of round 4. Yep, okay, so I win the top of round 5. I win the dice roll-off. Again, nothing in the hero phase, nothing in the shooting phase. move everything up a little bit, and make this charge. I guess that makes up for them failing their charge earlier, because this was a nice 8-inch charge that they needed to make to get into this combat. You can see the dice there in the measuring type. Oh, it was so good. It was glorious. And then after that, not only did they make the charge, but they rolled gorgeously. On 6s, they do mortal wounds immediately, and they hitting on 5s, so you see a bunch of 5s and 6s there. And that is a wipe. My general cleared out. You can see in the corner, my general cleared out the rest of the foot soldiers he was messing with, and the last wraith that still had 1 wound wiped out the general, her general, and then this beautiful roll just wiped out the rest of those horses we see on this table. And that's it. I mean, that was the top of turn 5, and this is everything that's left on the table, and you'll notice that it's all my stuff. So that's a complete wipe. I win the game. Go around and collect the portals, and that's about it. I was hoping to have her on for this, but it became late after we played. Hopefully the next time she'll be able to talk a little bit more about her strategies, because she had some awesome ones there, and dice definitely went both ways. That failed charge roll was a big one. I thought she had the game early when she wiped a unit, and then that powerhouse souped up reroll unit did some serious structural damage. But I ended up turning around and pulling it off. And so that goes a victory for Infinite D. Thank you so much for watching. We'll have another one up shortly. And till next time.